YouTube, what's going on? So I'm going to do this video real quick because, um, well, first of all, this may attract, um, well, it might attract trained people, and so I'm a diecast collector. That's what my channel is, just diecast review, showcase, that kind of stuff. But I do enjoy making these layouts, and I wanted to talk about the road because in the original video where I kind of did an overview of this layout in its completion, I said that I elevated the road using cardboard and that it was a mistake. But I want to retract that. So I get a lot of my inspiration for these layouts from Luke Towan and Marklin of Sweden, and I do a lot of stuff that they do. However, I do my paved roads very different because I find this way to be the easiest way and it yields a decent result. Now, obviously, the striping, um, always make sure you have a fresh tip on your paint pen. The striping needs to be redone. But other than the striping, I think the road looks okay. But what I wanted to show you guys real quick is I used cardboard to elevate the road, and then I used drywall spackle over the top. Now, when you make one of these layouts, you know that it gets saturated with either wet water or, in this case, isopropyl alcohol, which, by the way, if you use wet water, you should get away from it. Isopropyl alcohol, the surface tension is way lower. I mean, that stuff just penetrates. So definitely, and it's like $1 for a quart. So it's cheaper than water. So I would definitely switch. But you know that when you're saturating everything to glue it all together, that the layout takes in that moisture. And so, in addition to the water that's in the drywall spackle, which you put over the top of the cardboard, all of the other alcohol or wet water will find its way to the cardboard. And if you've ever seen wet cardboard, it reacts to it. And I had some of that happen, which initially I thought ruined the road, but as I've looked at it, I think it's actually caused a really cool effect. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I have a photograph of it where it's like perfect. So I'm gonna bring the camera on this side here. See how it just kind of got a little bit wavy. Like, to me, I think that's a pretty realistic look of a road with some imperfection. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera. I don't know how well that showed up. I'll have to watch this back. But it like just got it just enough wavy. So that's all I did. I cut cardboard a little bit wider than the width of the road because I wanted the shoulders to be elevated too. And then when you're plastering your layout, so for the plaster, like on the hills, I use plaster cloth, but everything else down here, I just use drywall spackle because it's cheaper, it's not as messy, and it's almost just as easy to work with. And so that's basically all that my paved roads are, is drywall, spackle, paint, and even the weathering is just paint. Like that's just a wash. That's a wash, and then that's just that's an oil pastel just brushed on. So one of the most common mistakes I see people make that are like doing their first layout is they'll do black roads. So you got to be careful with that. I would try to stay away from that. Sometimes it's necessary, but depending on what you're trying to model, most roads are not black. So always go with a lighter gray color. But this is a technique at first that I thought it was a mistake, and it kind of takes me back to my childhood. The legendary Bob Ross, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. I actually like the technique, and I think I will use it again because the effect really, to me, looks realistic to a certain extent. But I will say that when you do drywall spackle over cardboard, you will get a lot more of this than you do. Everything I've done in the past has been drywall spackle directly on the board, and I've never had issues with it cracking doing that. But this time around, I had a lot of cracking, so I had to give it a couple of layers, and I still got some cracking, which, I'm okay with it because it just looks like a crack in the road. I'm actually going to take a felt tip pen to these cracks to bring them out, give them a more realistic look, I think. But before I do that, I'm going to repaint the road because I got to repaint these stripes. There's another imperfection there with the cardboard, a little dip. But roads are seldom perfect, especially if it's a road that's a little bit less traveled. Those roads are going to have a lot lower maintenance. So if you're doing a road that's in a more rural area, imperfections are, in my opinion, good. So, anyways, that's just my thoughts. It's an easy way to make a paved road and to get a decent result. Obviously, you got to be better with the paint as far as the stripes go. You got to be better than this. This is not good. But you can make a paved road very easily. I did the same thing on the bridge that was built out of wooden craft sticks. I just used drywall, spackle, and paint. So it's a great way to do it. And I just wanted to throw that up there. I'm probably preaching to the choir to a lot of train people or people that that do the model trains, because I'm sure the vast majority of all of you guys have a lot more experience in this kind of stuff than me. So just thought I would share that, though. Cardboard, just a real thin piece of cardboard, just to elevate the road a little bit higher than the rest of the layout. It adds a subtle but very nice touch, I think. And some of the side effects of it, I think, can give you a really nice looking road. So just wanted to share that. And thanks everybody for checking it out. Leave your thoughts below, and I will holler at the next video.